I'm relatively high on this Eagles team. The reason for that is really just the advanced analytics on this team, right? Football Outsiders projects the Eagles as the third most likely team to make the playoffs, as the fifth most likely team to make the Super Bowl, whereas most betting odds have them as like the 10th most likely team to make the playoffs, and they have them at plus 2,500 to win the Super Bowl. So the markets really aren't accounting for what the analytics are saying for this team. I don't necessarily believe that Football Outsiders statistics are gospel, but they're generally pretty good at projecting a confluence of factors just in terms of luck, in terms of advanced analytics, how a team's year-to-year process will work, especially with a returning quarterback and a returning head coach. For all the reasons I've just mentioned, I don't see a world in which the Eagles don't go over their projected win total of 9.5. I see this as a 10 to 11 win team. I'm going to be hammering the Eagles to win the NFC East at plus 185. That's a bet that I think has a lot of value there because it's not quite big enough odds where you'd be really second guessing yourself, but I think there's still value there because if you think the Eagles are going to go over, it's worth a shot at just taking plus 185. At this point, I think the Eagles over is sort of juiced on a lot of books. So you're getting minus 130, minus 150 on the Eagles to win over 9.5 games. But sometimes I have to believe a lot of the hype around a team, right? Sometimes my eyes may deceive me when betting on football teams. And I think that the Eagles with Jalen Hurts are one of those situations. I watched so much Jalen Hurts last year, and I thought the entire time there's no way that this team could make the playoffs with a guy like Jalen Hurts at quarterback. He's too limited. He's too far away from what I think a prototypical winning quarterback is in terms of play style. But ultimately, he got it done last year. This is a guy who was converting drives into touchdowns. He had a lot of garbage time yards, a lot of garbage time passing stats, but he got the job done. He got them to the playoffs. He had them playing the Bucs relatively tough for a short period of time. Ultimately, he couldn't really pass on that team, but still, if Hurts progresses a little bit, I don't see a world in which the Eagles are not going over their projected 9.5 win total, and you need to sprinkle a little on the Eagles to win the NFC East if you're going to be betting on the over there. In terms of prop bets for the Eagles, the one prop that really jumps out to me is A.J. Brown under receiving yards. I think it's at 1,025 right now. I love A.J. Brown as a talent, but primarily as a ceiling raiser for your team because I don't see him as a major, reliable counting stats guy. This is a guy who struggled with injury over the last couple years. I don't see him getting the volume, most importantly, to reach that total of 1,025. This Eagles offense is not going to be near the top of the league in passing volume. I see them in terms of pace of play, a rushing offense like this, I see them being much closer to the bottom half, maybe the bottom 10 teams in the league in terms of plays called per game. And if you're getting those low volume number of plays called per game on top of a low volume of passing plays called per game, I just don't see a world in which the A.J. Brown volume will be there to sustain a yardage total over his projected total. I think people often get caught up in the hype of A.J. Brown because he makes these flashy, really electric plays in the field, but the player himself, I don't see him having the consistency this year to go over on his projected yardage total. Another quick prop bet I'll talk about with the Eagles is Jalen Hurts over 8.5 rushing touchdowns. I think that the stats on Jalen Hurts or the VIG on that bet is juiced under right now. So it's minus 150 on under 8.5 rushing touchdowns. But if Jalen Hurts plays 16 games, 17 games, I don't see a world in which he does not go over that total. He had 10 last year. He had 3 the year before, just in 2.5 games or something as a starting quarterback. If Jalen Hurts is on the field, he's going to run in a bunch of touchdowns. I know that this stat can be a little fluky from year to year. We've seen that with guys like Josh Allen, guys like Lamar Jackson having 0 last year. But I believe in the Eagles this year. I believe in Jalen Hurts, and I believe he's going to go over 8.5 rushing touchdowns.